Hey there, Aquarius. Welcome to reading for 2023. We are going to look at your first house in this first row right here. And in your first house, you actually have the seventh house card, which says relationships on it. Your first house, we're mostly going to be focusing on your approach to the year because the first house can be your approach to new beginnings. But the first house can also represent you, yourself, how you present yourself to the world, and it can represent new beginnings and other things as well. But I kind of do feel that there could be a new beginning for you in the area of relationships with this seventh house card that is showing up here. And this could be you getting into a new relationship. You have the soulmates card right here. So there you go. You're definitely probably going to be talking to someone new at the very least. And we'll talk about that in a minute. But it could also just say that relationships are going to be important to you. Not just love, but all relationships are going to be important this year and are probably going to affect the way that you appear in the world, or, something to that effect. It could also be that you are going to be gaining a lot of benefits, and intuitively that's kind of what I'm getting here, is that I feel like I would be, if I were you, Aquarius, I would be, and I'm an Aquarius rising, and what I would say here is I would definitely be focusing on building relationships in pretty much all areas of your life: work, business, love, money, spiritually, pretty much everywhere. There just could be a lot of benefits for you specifically because it's showing up in your first house, and that's what I'd be focusing on. You have the Death card, the Emperor, and the Eight of Cups. Major transformation for you in your life. I feel like things are changing significantly in your life, obviously. I mean, literally having the Death card in your first house is a major transformation. And the Death card alone represents a big transformation. So I feel you're undergoing a major change. For some of you, I kind of feel in the past, like last year, 2022, or if you're watching this in 2022 and 2022, this here is a king who's dead under the Death Rider, and it can represent some things in your life that you thought were going to be permanent that were not, and it could be anything: businesses, relationships, whatever. And it basically says that all kings die eventually. So things that are established sometimes go away, and we just have to go through a transformation, start over. But the thing I love about the Death card is that the sun is coming up between the two pillars that are normally on the Moon card right here. So you're undergoing like a positive transformation, I feel. I feel like you're going to be taking the lead this year as well. You have the Emperor, and right next to it, you have the Ace of Wands. So I feel like you're really taking the lead on new beginnings. I also like having the Emperor in the first house. It basically says you are showing up as a leader. You are showing up in a position of power and strength. So that definitely looks good. And you do have the Eight of Cups here. I feel like you're just cutting out the crap, plain and simple. I feel like a very decisive energy, which is great because I think in 2022, a lot of your readings were about making decisions. And part of me thinks that maybe some of you have learned the lesson that, like, if you can't make a decision about something, maybe that's your answer. I always say that, like, I'm a hell yes or a hell no person. Really, I'm an F yes or F no person. If something isn't a hell yes, it's a hell no, right? So if I can't make a decision, then the decision is no decision. Plain and simple. I totally forget about whatever it is, right? And I move on in whatever area of life it is. And I kind of feel like some of you are going to be like that with the Eight of Cups. And, I think it's just going to allow you forward progress. I mean, look, you literally go to the Ace of Wands, to the Page of Cups going this way. Going this way, you go to the Wheel of Fortune, literally saying that being decisive like this is going to change your life. Love it. Look at this. Love it. With the Death card, you have your card right here. This card is you. And, I feel for a lot of you, you could be getting a lot of attention. Hey there, Aquarius. Sorry, something happened to the recording, and I just noticed it over here, so I don't know where I left off exactly, so we're going to pick up where I think I left off, and I was talking about this originality card, but the audio, I think, cut out as I was talking about this, and you have the Death card. I was basically saying that this is your card right here, this originality card. It is Mercury in Aquarius. I feel like you could be getting, just kind of like stepping into your true original power. We do have Pluto will be entering into your sign for a brief period of time before it retrogrades back into Capricorn, but pretty interesting. Pretty major planet being in your sign could definitely bring out some more of your Aquarian energy. With the Emperor here, you have the Appreciation card. I like this card. It's a card of gratitude and luxuries, so I feel it's like a great time for you to be grateful for the things that you have. I feel that'll kind of like increase your power. I do also feel some of you could be attracting an Aries or a Taurus. Aries and Taurus stand out to me. It could be any sign. It could just be a person who has Aries or Taurus in their chart somewhere. But it is standing out to me here in this reading. With the Eight of Cups, you have the Sun in Aquarius. You, right here. Literally doesn't get much better than that, because like I feel like you are standing in your power by showing up as yourself in this first row, and it's like putting you in a position of power and strength. Next, in the area of your second house, which is like the house of earned income, material goods, money, buying stuff, all that other good stuff. You have this business card. It says, expect to have an amazing boost up the business ladder. So love it. It also says something else. It says, elevate your awareness and think bigger if you want better results. So I would definitely be thinking big if I were you. I mean, like I said, there are some pretty significant changes, it looks like, happening for you this year. And, that's what I'd be paying attention to. I see a lot of success. I mean, this row is freaking amazing. This whole entire reading is very positive. I would definitely say you have one of the more positive readings out of everybody. Actually, everybody's readings have been relatively positive, but, just in general, I feel yours is a little bit better as far as money is concerned. So definitely love it. You have the Ten of Pentacles, which is obviously an amazing card to have in your second house, the Ace of Wands, and the Fool. If you're thinking about starting something new, like a new business or just a new way to make money, could be, starting a business, getting a new job, finding a new position, then I feel this will be obviously a good thing for you. The Ace of Wands is out with the old. You can see this castle back here is crumbling, and it represents in with the new. So it basically represents something new entering into your life. And in the second house could be, a material item, but for the most part, I feel it's something that is making you money with the business card and the Ten of Pentacles. Also, the Fool here is about starting something new. I would follow your heart, number one, with the Ace of Wands, but also your desire. With the Ace of Wands, sometimes we just have a very strong feeling that we want to do something, and that's kind of like a clue from the universe. Really, it's about desire and joy and things that bring you joy and happiness, and that's what I'd be paying attention to here with the Ace of Wands. I'm also getting here that anything creative, like if you're doing something creative where you have to put on your thinking cap, right, to be able to create something, then I feel that would be very profitable for you with the Ten of Pentacles. But I also love this because I feel like you're focused on the Ten of Pentacles. And we have Uranus and Taurus, and I tell everyone that with Uranus and Taurus, we really, really want to make sure that we're focusing on Ten of Pentacles, building and leaving a legacy. This is more than just making money. Ten of Pentacles is doing something permanent, like something that you work on for the rest of your life, or, really building something important. And that's like also part of Pluto moving into Aquarius, that building more things that benefit more people, but also things that are probably going to last longer. So I feel for a lot of you, you could be like really building a business or whatever that like leads to a lot of success. Even if you're retired. I mean, I always get comments from you retirees, and it's like, just because you're retired doesn't mean you can't like work on a side hustle. There are plenty of retired people that have YouTube channels and things like that. So, I think there's plenty of things that you could do. You could also be writing a book or, doing something else, right? You have the Fool here. Definitely a risk. Like I feel more of that risky side of the Fool in your reading here, Aquarius, not in a bad way. I just think it feels like a risk, whatever you're doing. Like maybe you're like, oh, like, do I take the risk to invest in this business or whatever? And I would, especially if you're investing in yourself, I would say yes. If you're investing in something else, as I've been telling everyone, with like the recession possibly and all this other stuff going on, I just wouldn't, I would just pay very, very close attention to your finances. I keep encouraging everyone, as good as this financial reading is. And again, I'm going to be doing these in 3 parts, these readings. So we're going to be getting to your financial houses soon, and we'll look even deeper into your finances. But what I would say is I would just be careful. I wouldn't be out there wasting money, as I encourage people. Like I keep saying to people, I don't think we should be paranoid. I think we should just keep our heads on straight and just pay attention to our finances and just don't overspend. I think it's a bad time to be overspending, right? That does not mean you won't have money. Some of us might have more money than ever, but we need to make sure that we're kind of doing smart things with that money. And that goes back to, again, Uranus and Taurus. I think Uranus and Taurus wants true freedom. So if you're doing dumb stuff with money, then, you're not working with the energy, right? With the Ten of Pentacles, you have the adaptability card. Again, another major theme that I think has come up for you in the past, Aquarius, is being adaptable. Kind of reminds me of the Eight of Swords, but not in a bad way. Eight of Swords just represents only seeing one way of doing things. I feel like this is saying, again, embrace your Aquarian nature and be adaptable. Come up with multiple ways of doing anything in work, business, or finance. Like maybe there are better ways for where you can make more money, or maybe there's a better way you can run your business or your career. Whatever it is, doesn't matter. I feel that just thinking about it is all you need to do. It's like, I don't know if any of you have ever played like the car game where you think of like a color in a type of a car that you want to see. And like when you think about it, then you start seeing that car everywhere, right? Sometimes I think we just need to turn our brain on and just say, like, I want to be aware of different ways of running my business. Just having the awareness turns it on, and then you become more adaptable. You start seeing things, and I feel that there. In the area with the Ace of Wands, you have this flirtation card here. Very interesting. You're like the second or third sign where I feel like maybe getting into a positive relationship could literally be increasing your finances. So, there could be a lot of opportunities for you to meet new people, but these people could be the type of people where they're just good people. They just, for whatever reason, maybe you make more money when you're with them, or maybe you earn more money because they're more positive, because you're thinking more positively. And because of that, it like spills over into other areas of your life. So if you're looking for love, definitely looks like there could be love coming in for you this year. I would say if it's a positive relationship, those benefits could be spilling over to your finances just because you're probably feeling good, you're feeling better, you're happy, right? And because of that, you're like making more money. I also feel this is encouraging you to literally flirt with your creativity. I feel that really, I know I preach this stuff a lot, but I really feel that a lot of the successful solutions to maybe some of the world's problems, but not even the world's problems, just problems in your own life, or even if you're trying to grow your business, they're going to be what I call third place solutions. It's like, if you notice, everybody's like this side, that side right now, but there might be solutions that exist like up here, right? That are, what I call third place solutions. They might be down over here too. Something that nobody's ever thought of. These are going to be the solutions that not only save the world, but make us more money or make us more successful. So don't be afraid to like flirt with some of your crazy Aquarius ideas. You never know. You might come up with the next $1 billion idea or more, really. With the Fool card, you have this Patience card. I would just be patient with yourself. But again, this card kind of reminds me of like the Empress. You can see that she's very fancily dressed, this lady in the middle here. So I feel there is a lot of abundance coming in for you. I definitely wouldn't rush anything with that Fool card. I kind of feel like it's saying something about, like allow things to gestate in your life. Like if you're starting a project, don't, for some reason it's like saying don't pull it out of the oven too soon. Those are the words that are popping into my head. So some of you might be like working on a project, and I feel like it's like if you're baking a cake and you pull it out of the oven too soon, it could still be like soup, just like a warm cake soup. So I feel like you need to like let things develop before you take your leap of faith onto something with that Fool card. But let's see. Next in the area of your third house for communication. Third house also has to do with like siblings, neighbors, the things that are on your mind as well shows up in the third house. And intuitively, that's kind of what I feel like this is. It's what's on your mind. Some of you could be thinking about a soulmate or attracting a soulmate. You could also be thinking about communicating with a soulmate. And I'm just going to show you. You have the Page of Cups, the Four of Cups, and the Seven of Pentacles. So for some of you, you could admire a person or have a secret admirer, or maybe you're the secret admirer, I'm not sure. But I would shoot your shot here, Aquarius, number one, if you happen to be the secret, right? But I also do feel that like someone wants to communicate with you. And again, if it's a person that you're interested in, I feel like they'd be more than happy to communicate in a situation. I do feel like what's on your mind, though, is past disappointments. You have the Four of Cups and the Seven of Pentacles. On that Seven of Pentacles, I'm kind of getting like a lot of what if energy. Like, what if I did this? What if I did that? I would definitely, obviously, I would be careful of that. And this might be other areas of your life as well, because again, the third house is just what's on your mind. And you could be having those moments, even in like work or business. Maybe you're thinking, oh my God, I made a mistake. Like, what if I did this? What if I did that? And it's kind of like a weird way this is popping into my head, but I would definitely be careful of living too much in the past with this energy. I would make sure that you're not just like constantly thinking about things that could have been. I think that'll keep you stuck, because I feel like where you're going is much more abundant. Clearly, this is a really good reading. You end with the Wheel of Fortune, which is like your life totally changing. But what I would say here is I feel like you need to kind of start planting seeds in a new field. You can see that he has grown these pentacles, but I always say, is the juice worth the squeeze, or is there something better? even with the Four Cups, Four Cups can be like a grass is greener on the other side type of energy, but maybe the grass is greener on the other side, or maybe there's like an empty field on the other side that you can plant new seeds in. So definitely something that I would say could be, on your mind. I would be careful of thinking too much about disappointments as well. It's a card of contemplation, apathy, and he's like manifesting things in front of him, but he's not accepting them into his life. So I'd be careful of kind of like manifesting things, but then not accepting them into your life as well. Sometimes I think, again, back to the baking analogy, I always say that the Four Cups is like baking a cake. Maybe you're manifesting like the flour, the sugar, the eggs, the things that you need. But if you don't accept those things into your life and you don't put them together, if you don't mix them together and put them in the oven, it's not going to turn into a cake. So for a lot of you, I feel like you're doing a lot of manifesting, but you might be, again, manifesting the ingredients to something that you need. But so don't be afraid to put in the work is what I'm trying to spit out here. But let's see what we have going on for you here, Aquarius. With the Page of Cups, you have the Lust card. So I would, like, for some of you, I'd be careful of just, like, lusty connections. I would make sure that the people, like, well, I mean, I don't care, whatever some people want that, right? If you want that, great. I feel like there could be lusty connections coming in for you. Go for it. But if you don't want that, I would be careful, and I would make sure that you're finding people who say they are who they say they are, right? And I would make sure to pay attention to words and actions, as I always say. With the Four Cups, you have this Charity card here. This is a card of like giving, and I would say if you're like stuck with that Four Cups, sometimes I think we get mentally stuck, and I kind of feel like this Charity card, it's not so much about charity. I think that sometimes it's just about putting something out into the world. Maybe you have some advice that you could share with a person in life or whatever. So it's like if you're stuck, I feel like maybe helping another person during this year, if you ever run into these moments, helping other people could be the thing that sets you free. With the Seven of Pentacles, you have this inheritance card. This literally could be an inheritance for some of you, by the way. The third house has to do with siblings and neighbors. So, you could be inheriting something from a neighbor. Maybe they didn't pass away, but maybe they're giving you something, like leaving you a couch or something like that. I don't know. It's popping into my head, Aquarius. I think it'll be a damn good couch, so I would take it. For others, I literally feel this could be like an inheritance for sure. Finally here, in your fourth house, and by the way, I will be doing these yearly readings in 3 parts. We're going to do all 12 houses, so keep an eye out for parts 2 and 3, but you have this pleasure card. So the fourth house is home, family, your foundation, things like that, and you have this pleasure card. So I feel a lot of you are just going to be enjoying your time in your home, if you have a home or wherever you live. And also, this could be with family, so a lot of you could be spending time with family this year, or that could be something that's important to you. You have the Ten of Wands, the Hierophant, and the Wheel of Fortune. There's definitely a change in your fortunes, I would say, for the better. The Ten of Wands is like carrying a burden. I feel like you've been carrying a lot of burdens for years here, Aquarius, and you can see that he's about to reach that home that's in the background on the card, and he's about to put his wands down. So for a lot of you, I feel like you're about to release a lot of burdens. I feel like you're about to release things that have been kind of maybe you feel like, it's kind of weird how it's popping into my head, because I feel like you feel like there are some things that have been preventing you from being successful. Could be anything, could be some beliefs, could be some things that you said to people. I don't know. It's kind of weird. I feel like I see some of you like apologizing to people, and I'm not saying you need to apologize to people. I'm just saying, like, I see you, like all of you, doing things like that, or maybe you're asking people for advice or whatever. It's like you're doing all these things, and it has to do with the people in your life. It's weird how it's popping into my head, but at the same time, I don't know. If it sets you free, it sets you free, right? Go for it. You have the Hierophant as well. Family definitely going to be important to you. I mean, the Hierophant is a card of traditions, so I feel a lot of you could be kind of like maybe spending time with family, doing traditional things that normally you would do. For others, definitely could be marriage. I mean, some of you could be like starting a relationship or meeting a person who you will marry in the future, and maybe you're very similar as far as your traditions are concerned. You also have the Wheel of Fortune, so I feel like there are major changes happening in your life, and this is going to probably change the foundation or make you feel like you have a better foundation in life as well. I feel like you're much more in control. We want to be at the center here. We want to be in the middle, because that's where like those other wheels can spin around us. And it kind of says that, when we're at the center of the wheel, we can see things changing. The wheel is always spinning, but we're in a much better position when we're at the center of the wheel. But I would definitely say there's something, like I feel like you are going to feel very fortunate this year for some reason. With the Ten of Wands, you have this convention card here. I feel like some of you know that if there are certain things that have been the same way in your life and that haven't changed, that you need to change them. That's what's caused burdens. Like I feel, and look, there's a home here. Some of you could literally be moving, but this is much deeper than that. I feel like this has to do with your security. Again, the fourth house can have to do with your foundation, just your personal foundation in life, like where you draw your security from, like on a personal level. And so I feel like for some of you, you realize that things have been the same for too long in some areas of your life, and you could just be making changes to be more secure. With the Hierophant, you have the resourcefulness card. I would definitely tap into your resources. I would definitely be resourceful. I keep telling people that, like, I think the one thing we should turn on this year is like looking for opportunities to like make more money, for example. Because I think that there could be a lot of opportunities if we're aware of it to like make money. You never know. Like maybe your boss says, hey, I'm like looking for someone to do overtime, or I'm looking for this or that or the other thing for extra money. I would be open to those opportunities. Again, I think people that take advantage of that are just going to end up in a much better position this year than everyone else. So I would make sure that you're paying attention to kind of opportunities that could increase your resources. This could also be other types of resources as well, like people, places, and things in your life. So I would just be open to that. And with the Wheel of Fortune, you have the friendship card. For some of you, I feel there could be like a friend returning to your life here. And this, I feel there could be a lot of benefits that you get from this friend, especially like if you have a person that you work with or have a business with or whatever, there could be some benefits there. For others, I feel like you are attracting a person into your life who changes your life. And, it could be love or just a friendship. It kind of feels like love to me, though. It's like, for some of you, I feel it's love. It's like the type of person who's like your best friend for life, but like much deeper connection than just love. This is like, a true, best friend. I don't even know how to say that. So you're definitely could be attracting a soulmate, but this looks good. Again, Aquarius, keep an eye out for parts 2 and 3. They'll be out soonish over the next couple of weeks, and we're going to be covering the rest of the houses in astrology. But I'm going to pull these 3 cards. We're going to answer one question. So if you have a question, great. Feel free to pause the reading, and I'll answer your question. If you don't, that's fine too. I'm going to put all 3 of these cards together and read them as like a personal-ish reading. So you have the King of Wands, the Magician, and the Queen of Swords. I feel like you finally, number one, I'm getting that some of you have gained some clarity about something. It's interesting that, like, if I were to put this on the table, the King of Wands would be facing towards the past. The Magician would be like a new beginning, and the Queen of Swords, I feel like, could be your energy finally gaining clarity. So I feel like some of you are gaining clarity about a new beginning that you know that you need to have. So the words that are popping into my head is I would just embrace the new beginning. For others, I feel like you could be attracting a person into your life. So if you're looking for love, I feel this could be love coming in for you. For others, it's like I feel for some of you, you're trying to manifest a person into your life, but they're both facing opposite directions. So I feel like something has to change here. If you're like dealing with a person where you're not talking or whatever, I feel like something has to change, obviously, which is dumb. But, I feel like something needs to happen here. I would use your tools with the Magician. Magician has mastery over all the suits, so I would use your tools. Same thing with your finances as well. I'd be resourceful. But this is really good so far. So thank you for being here, Aquarius. Really appreciate it. Make sure to watch your Sun, Moon, and Rising for a full picture of what's going on for you at this time. But thank you, and definitely enjoy your year.